So I am very intrigued by this movie that you were just in.
Yeah,
Tell
yeah.
me about that, dude. That's wild.
So it's not really a movie. It was gonna be a movie. Now it's a mini series, or they're
Oh,
shooting for it to be a mini series.
interesting.
Yep. So
Are you going to be in
totally.
like
Yeah.
more
I mean,
more?
I don't know. Well, they didn't kill my character, so hopefully the guys write me back into the movie.
Hmm,
So that'll be pretty
how
cool.
did how did this whole thing come about?
So the regulators, or actually on TikTok they're called not the regulators. They went and they just had an idea to make a movie. It started out as a movie, and now it's kind of transitioned, I think, more into a miniseries.
Hmm.
And they just got a bunch of people together. They had a casting call. They had guys like Jeremy Littell, Greg Grunge, uh, Justin Nunley, Rebel, Ashley by the Desert, like a ton of TikTok and Instagram people just came together and made a miniseries.
Hmm.
So,
So how did you get roped into that?
so I've been friends with the regulators for years, and Jeremy for quite a long time. Like all of us are like some kind of group of friends through the internet, some type of way.
Yeah.
And they hit me up like a week and a half before, like, "Hey, bro, you want to come film for like 10 days?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, shit, I'm in charge of stuff. I can't just leave. So let me see what I can do." And it just worked out. It worked out pretty good.
Dude, that's
So,
hilarious.
and it was crazy. I mean, nonstop. You know, 10 hours, 14 hours a day. It was crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it was fun though. It was an experience, that's for sure.
Had you ever done anything like that before?
No, I mean, other than making our videos for just in the internet, what, 15, 20 seconds, sometimes a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after I was done with my part, I started building sets for them, and and it was it was a combined effort. A lot of everybody just kicked in on what they could. I mean, it was fun though.
Yeah.
Didn't have a big production company behind it to give us here whatever you need. It was just a certain amount of guys putting the money down and finding whatever we could to make a set. So it worked out. It was fun.
Yeah, it sounds super just like independent, cool, like we're just going to do this and
Yep, and
not
that's exactly what it was. They absolutely, and they're going to try to market it to some of these big streaming companies, and hopefully somebody picks it up, and these guys can live out their dream, and I get a small part in making that, and that's fun.
Yeah, that's badass, dude.
So it'll be fun.
What an interesting little like side project. I always love to hear like what just trades workers are into on the side, and very few of them would probably say I was in a movie or a mini series.
Yeah, it was total, and everybody that's in that miniseries from some type of way. So Jeremy owns Kick Ass Beef Jerky. Um, he's got, I don't know what he's got, 20 million or something across all platforms. He's got a lot of followers. He does a lot of little Johnny jokes. He's fucking hilarious. And he was him and the regulators were the backbone, and everybody else just kind of came together and just it made it happen. It was pretty cool to see.
That's so cool,
So
dude.
so it was
Yeah.
fun.
Dude, talking into a camera is kind of hard. I mean, people think that
Yeah,
acting is easy, but I've only had one experience where I was just filming all day and it was exhausting.
it wasn't too bad because I mean, like I said, a lot of us do TikTok or Instagram content, but remembering your lines, that's the hard part.
Yeah.
Is like shit. Like me, I had to be a drunk guy who got cheated out of a bunch of money in a poker game. So in the midst of that, I get choked out by the bouncer chick, and then I piss my pants. And I don't want to give too much away, but that's some of it. So it's pretty fun. It was a good time.
What's the show or movie called?
It's going to be called ELE, which is Extinction Level Event. I think they're shooting for a December date, but I don't know for sure yet. I
Hmm.
mean, they literally just wrapped up last Friday or Sunday actually. So it's just now getting wrapped up and getting into production mode.
Huh.
So
What's it about?
it's more like it's a zombie movie basically, but it's like kind of a parody, I would say, kind of like scary movie or something.
Yeah. Is it like
It's
this is
it's
the end?
it's crazy. It's all over the damn place, and it's awesome.
That's cool, man.
It was super fun. There's no politically correctness to it. I'm gonna say that. So
Well,
people that
good.
want to come watch it, and if they feel like they're gonna be butthurt, they're gonna be. I mean, just they're gonna be. So
Yeah, we got too much political correctness. I mean, too many TV shows and movies suck now because of that. So good for you
oh,
guys.
I know, yeah, and they were like, nope. And Eddie and Bobby, they do. Eddie's a black guy. Bobby's a white guy. They're married to each other's sisters. They do black and white comedy all day long. And at one time they had 1.4 million, I think, and they got canceled and their account got jacked. They're back up to a million something now already.
Dude, that's awesome.
So them guys have been grinding it out. They're good dudes, man. I mean, everybody in that whole set was good people. We had I wish I could remember the production company, or not the production company, but all the guys that ran the cameras and our I don't know what Crystal's title was because I can't think of it, but they were all from Canada. So we had people from all across the countries, everywhere, every end of the damn country, our country. It was fun. It was crazy.
Yeah. And you're filming in God's own state, Oklahoma.
Yeah, what a shithole.
You're Purcell.
You know
It's
what?
like
The people of Purcell.
Purcell.
Well, the people of Purcell and Lexington were fucking amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. They let us come out. They let us use their properties. They let us use all the stuff. They came out and were extras in all these scenes. The people down there were absolutely fucking amazing. So
That's
it was
awesome.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much down by Purcell other than a lot of road construction on I-35 all the time.
Yeah, and it wasn't even that bad down there, which was surprising. But it was cool. I mean, hell, the local cops were cool. I mean, everybody was cool about it because we had prop guns. We're running around town with assault rifles and stuff. So they were all cool about it. They were like, all right, at least we know. And never, man, so many businesses let us use their stuff. It was pretty cool.
Hell, the cops probably saw you running around with guns, and they were just like, "Yeah, just another Tuesday."
Yeah, the one I wish I could remember his name too, down there in Lexington. I mean, he was like, "Hey, you guys can use this area and this area, and it's cool. Don't worry about it." We shot one big scene at the Purcell train station, and the lady across the street was losing her mind. She called the cops on us. The cops were like, "Shut up." There's like 300 people from the town there as zombies, and like she's like freaking out. And
there's a whole bunch of sick-looking people running around down here.
Well, I mean, and we're doing the part where we're like they're screaming and yelling out of a Jeep with a bunch of assault rifles on top of the Jeep. So I mean, I get it, but
yeah,
it was, the cops knew. They came down. We had the permits and all the stuff. So, but it was fun. It was a good time.
That is cool, man. I like what you were telling me the other day too about how you started building sets, and they were like, "Oh, hey."
Yeah, they were all joking. They're like, "Bro, you got a career in this." I'm like, "You got to pay a lot more money than what I think you guys pay set builders."
Yeah.
So if you want to hire me independently, we could talk about it. But I mean, I'm not a movie set builder by any means.
The Iron Workers Union is paying a little more than the set builders.
Yeah. I mean, now the Ironworkers do big concerts and stuff too, along with the set. There is actually stagehand union.
I knew that.
So,
I knew there
and we do work with them every now and then.
Really?
Yeah. So when they're shorthanded or something, they'll sometimes reach out to us and we'll do stuff for them here and there. But
really? Have you ever done like for big concerts and stuff? Have you done that?
I'd have around our house, but the set builders union around our house is pretty small. So when they get a big production, but usually it's just them. I mean, they do a damn good job of it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, it was pretty cool experience though.
Yeah,
building sets off of just shit laying around. I mean, it's a zombie thing, so you're not building an extravagant set. You're just kind of making shit look terrible.
Yeah, you're making it look like shit. So
yeah, so it's easy. You just get some, go out to a farmer's field. They always got a junk pile somewhere. As long as you put their junk back, they're happy.
Yeah.
So they were cool.
That's awesome, dude. That's such a cool experience. If you come back, you'll have to let me know because Purcell's just a hop, skip, and a jump away from me. So,
I think everybody kind of vetoed going anywhere south where it's hot as hell and had all that makeup on. So I think we're going either Minnesota, Canada, Detroit, or somebody said South Carolina, but I think that's gonna be a little muggy.
It'd probably be pretty muggy down there.
So I think they're heading for a northern destination next.
Yeah. I'll have to check that series out whenever it comes out.
Well, they'll probably have an open casting call. They had one this time for extras and all kinds of stuff, and we needed them for sure.
So nice. Cool, man. Well, that's awesome, dude. I look forward to seeing and hearing more about that as it materializes a little more.
Yeah, it'll be
So
fun.
tell me about you've been an iron worker for 20 years.
Yeah, this is like my 22nd year, but yeah, something like that.
Damn. Yeah, so that's something that I really have never been around or know much about. So tell me about the world of ironworking.
It's a big world, man. I mean, every essentially every bridge you see an ironworker has set it. Every building, high-rise building anyway, an ironworker has probably set the iron.
Yeah.
All the footers to all your bigger buildings, the ironworkers probably tied the rebar. All the interior footers, all these warehouses, the ironworkers probably tied to rebar. I mean, obviously, the farther south you get, the less unions there are, so somebody tied it. But typically, it's ironwork. It's classified under ironwork.
Hmm.
So bridges, skyscrapers, tunnels. I mean, rigging, picking heavy ass shit up with cranes. That's all our stuff.
Yeah. What do you
So
typically kind of specialize in?
I'm kind of. I mean, I do a lot of rebar, but I mean, I'm an iron worker. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're a rod buster." No, my title is iron worker, and my company actually does both sides of the trade. So I'm fortunate enough to be able to do both sides of the trade, whenever I want.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. What do you mean both sides of the trade?
we got basically there's actually three or four sides, but you got structural is your main side, and then rebar is your other main side, if you
Oh,
will. So
okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, because the only thing I mean I've ever seen about ironworkers is like I mean, you see the guys on the high rises and stuff like that.
hmm
Like you watch the old videos of like the Empire State Building getting built or, other similar buildings and dude, the iron workers are just freaking insane. I
yeah,
mean,
it's a wild job.
yeah. I mean, cause like, and I've seen, like you're talking bridge guys. I mean, a lot of iron workers put themselves in pretty dangerous situations. I mean, even with all the modern safety features and stuff like that, like the old school guys, the Empire State Building, like everybody's seen the picture of those guys just sitting on a beam eating lunch with
Oh
no
yeah,
harnesses or anything, and you're just like, whoo. But even today, you'll see these dudes dangling off of a bridge deck, looking like Spider Man or something.
oh yeah, oh yeah. That's the structural guys like bridges are kind of a little bit opposite as opposed to normal for like ironwork because usually like the rod guys will come in and they'll put the rods in, then the structural guys will put their stuff on top of our stuff. Well, on the
Hmm.
bridge, in a bridge, obviously they put the beams down, and then the road deck has to go down, so we tie all the rebar in the road deck.
Hmm.
So this is kind of, and sometimes if you're a good iron worker, you can stay there and set the beams and tie the rebar. But a lot of guys don't like tying rebar, so
Yeah, I was gonna say that's something that I know a lot of guys do not like doing.
no, they don't. I mean, and some people, I mean, they're not good at it, or they just don't want to work that hard. I mean, it's not easy.
Yeah, I mean you're bent over all day, and I mean it's pretty tasking.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, I've tied rebar on small stuff, never anything too large,
Yeah, yeah.
but I mean, but I've never built like are you building the rebar baskets and doing all that crazy stuff too? I guess.
Yeah, like the job I'm doing right now is a bunch of all different size pads, piers, some caissons, just all kinds of shit.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
it's got a little bit of everything in it.
yeah, that rebar gets pretty intricate too.
It can. I like the really hard ones. They're
Yeah.
probably my favorite.
What so what kind of stuff usually constitutes really hard stuff? Like what is it?
Just a crazy design or something. Just where you got different layers of rebar coming in, or a wall coming out of something, tying into something. Just something like that, where you got to put a lot of extra thought into getting the stuff in there without killing yourself.
What are you typically building whenever you have crazy designs like that?
You know what? Nowadays with these engineers, it could be a damn house, and I wish I was kidding.
Yeah.
Um, Everything is crazy over engineered, I think, on some things,
Hmm.
but a lot of it is like multi levels of stuff, like steel mills. Steel mills are notorious for it because the floors, they have all that weight with them ladles running down through there, and all the different layers of stuff coming in. You might have like a track that holds the ladles, and then you have the actual floor coming into the track and tying through it and making sure you got the bars like buried in there so you ain't got to force them in there. And there's a lot of figuring out how to weave the bars in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that point about engineers too. It seems like I don't know what's up with it, man, but like yeah, everything's either over engineered or it's way under engineered, and they just throw some intricate concept at it, but it
Mm-hmm.
like, does not even kind of work in real life.
Well, yesterday I got a whole thing going on right now where I was looking at the print and up here in the one the detail section it shows like number 6 bar, and down in the cut sheet it shows number 4 bar, and I'm like, well, what is it? 4 or 6? You're 2 sizes off, you know. And the quantities were messed up, the lengths were messed up, and the guys that hold the contract called the engineering company. They're like, well, we just don't know how that happened. We just don't know. Well, whoever did the what paste and click stuff fucked up. That's how it happened. And they were all like, well, and they're gonna have to eat all that cost for all my guys, all their guys waiting, us rebuilding all the shit. So they're gonna, well, we didn't have to rebuild it yet, but the time lost, I mean, they're gonna wind up having to eat some of that.
Yeah. So what
So
is your position? Are you like a foreman or just
yeah, so I'm a superintendent for my company.
okay?
So we have like our in town division, and then we have our division that goes all over the country, and I'm in charge of all over the country.
Oh, okay.
So like right now, I'm about 10 miles outside of DC right now. So
I gotcha. So you travel all over the place then.
yeah, I mean, last week I was out there by you in Oklahoma. Then I went to Knoxville, back to my house up by Detroit. Then where'd I go? Down to, oh hell, Southern Virginia. Now I'm back up here in Northern Virginia.
Oh wow. So you guys really are all over the place.
Yeah, so I'm all over.
Did you do work here in Oklahoma? Like for new
No,
job or just
no,
okay. Okay.
nope,
I didn't know if it's one of those deals where you came and did something for a few days and then filmed your movie and then went on.
nope,
But
nope. I was out this year. Where did I go this year? I went to Me and my son went to Wyoming. We went to Wyoming and worked,
hmm
and then we've been all over the East Coast this year, like everywhere on the East Coast.
wow. So how long are you typically on a job?
Just depends on the size.
Yeah.
I've been out here for about off and on for about 6, 7 months. I've been here since about May, I guess.
Oh, I gotcha.
So
Is that just 'cause, so why do you guys travel that far? Is it just because that's they call on your company or your union
yeah,
to go?
so we got. I don't know how we wound up with the deal. So everybody's going EV vehicles or whatever, and we
hmm
have a pretty good gig with this certain company that does power stations, and we do the rebar for them because nobody wants to tie rebar. So they're like, well, we'll pay you guys to do it. And we're like, hell yeah. So the price that we get from them is premium, and you can't beat that.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
it's worth the money.
Oh yeah, dude. Power companies are very much like my experience with them is they're like once we find a guy, like that's our guy. And we do not care. We are not going to call anybody else. We don't care what they charge. They are our guy.
Well, and that's, so in the substations, the linesmen are actually, they can do everything. They can tie the rebar, set the iron, run the cranes. Like they have a special contract or special agreement within the internationals, but
hmm
nobody wants to fucking tie rebar. So they're like, hey, you guys come tie the rebar. We don't want to fuck touch that shit.
Hmm.
So it just worked out for us. And like same thing going to Wyoming. We did a little mini substation for a wind farm because them guys just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
Do you
it
enjoy the
works out
travel?
nice. What's that?
Do you enjoy the travel?
I do, but I mean, it gets to be tedious every now and then. Like this week, I'm by myself because my son he's got apprenticeship school this week. I could have grabbed one of my other sons and brought him with me, but I didn't ask. So
Hmm. So do you just have one son that works with you, or do you have multiple that will?
no, I got 4 boys that are iron workers.
That's cool, dude.
I got 7 sons and a daughter.
Four of
So
them are iron workers, huh?
4 iron workers. 2 of them just are getting out of high school, so they'll probably be iron workers too at some point.
Hmm. Do you guys all work for the same company, or
Uh, let's see. 4 of us do, and my other son works for my old competitor company.
huh?
So,
Dang, dude, that's awesome. So how did you get them to where they wanted to be?
I really they didn't want to go to college, so I was like, well, you ain't gonna sit around the house and fuck off. And they're like, oh, we'll just go be iron workers, like it was something super easy or something.
Hmm.
But I mean, like my twins, they both run work now. My twins they'll be 26 next week, and or 27 or something. I don't know how old they are, but they they're foremen now, so they run their own work, their own jobs. So I don't know. I don't see them as much because they're running work, so I don't get to see them too much. And then Christian, he's working for another company, and I think right now he's welding or doing the structural side. And then
Dude,
Devin's pretty much my road dog. He kind of rolls with me everywhere,
that's badass, dude.
so I got it pretty good.
Yeah. So how is it working with your sons?
It's a fucking riot. I wish I could videotape it all day.
Really?
They're fucking ridiculous. They fuck around and have a good time, but they get a lot of work done. So as long as they're getting their shit done, I don't care.
Yeah, dude. That's what it's all about, right? I mean, you got to smile while you're here, otherwise it just sucks.
Yeah, and they're super. Like I said, they're super fun. They work hard. Sometimes they piss me off a little bit, especially if they're working for me. I think they do it on purpose, but not too often. Not too often. They're pretty good boys.
Yeah. Anybody will piss you off every now and then,
Oh
especially if
yeah,
you push your buttons.
yeah, they do.
Dang, dude, that's so cool. That's what we need more of too, right? I mean, it's really cool whenever you see somebody who likes their trade enough that their offspring gets involved in it. That's really awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super involved in the union part of trades of for me, and not just ironwork. I mean, I know we all talk shit about the other trades, but I mean, we all need each other, whether people want to admit that shit or not. You know,
Oh yeah.
we need the carpenters, electricians, laborers. Everybody has their role. Everybody has their part. Um, and all the guys are like, "Oh, we can just do it ourselves." Yeah, you probably could, but I mean, at the end of the day, you want the specialized people to do the specialized shit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it reminds me of that. Did you ever see the video of the guy that he's like, they're pouring a giant concrete slab. There's like 3 pump trucks or something. And he goes, this is man shit right here. You don't see your carpenters or your plumbers or your electricians out here. Although I fucking love you guys because I love being in a well-built house, taking a shit with the lights on.
oh yeah, that's actually good audio. I mean, the big one going around lately is if you can't finish high school, you can finish concrete. So they've been
Dude,
talking a lot of shit about that lately. So that's been
dude,
kind of
I was
the
looking for a good audio like that today for a video I posted. Oh, I wish I'd have seen that one because it was a
um
concrete video.
who I think Legend has it on his page. Legend does a lot of concrete. I think he's out there by you somewhere too, actually.
Yeah, I've talked to him. He's going to come into the studio one of these days and hop on the show.
I'll say he's out there
He's
by you somewhere.
yeah. He's a couple hours away, but yeah, we've talked about it, and he's got a lot going on right now. So eventually,
It's his busy season.
yeah, dude, that's kind of everybody's thing right now. It's and I mean me too. It's just everybody's trying to beat the winter.
Yeah, I know it's coming fast for us up north.
Oh yeah, dude. And I mean, like here, it was kind of it's been a weird season because it rained so much early on, and then it like for a lot of people, jobs here didn't start till like early to mid June, and then now here it is. Like
Right.
generally we work till almost December, but shoot, it's supposed to be like 37 degrees on Saturday, so it's coming.
Yeah, I mean, hell, you're talking like we get like -40 at my house. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean,
37.
37 can still work, but I'm in the asphalt business, so
Yeah,
it's harder.
yeah. Who was it? I'm friends with the Asphalt Ranger, and he just
Yeah.
posted some stuff the other day. So I think where the hell is he? He's up north somewhere. He's up in like Maine or something.
Vermont.
Yeah, Vermont, Maine, somewhere in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm sure he's getting ready too. I guess it's got to be getting colder up there.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So
Yeah, dude. Man, I like that though. That's so cool that your kids and everybody are involved in that, and that you get to work with them. And I mean that's a testament too to the fact that it. I mean, you say they're 25 and they're already foreman and leading crews and doing this shit. Like, there's so much opportunity for people that are willing to just go and work hard.
yeah, I mean, my company's got a lot of good guys, man. I mean, everybody in the company that's been around a little while could probably run work to some extent. Um, we, I don't know, we just got a very good group of guys, and it's nice to have them. Our ownership is, I mean, I know we're a union company, but our ownership is absolutely fucking awesome. Um, our president Danny, He'll do anything for you. If you do him right, he'll do anything for you. My direct boss, I went to apprenticeship school with, so I've known me and Joe have been friends our whole ironworker lives anyway. So he don't call me for anything. He don't ask me no questions. As long as all our shit's getting done, he just leaves me alone.
Hmm.
So,
How many people is in that company?
what do we got? We got like 200 or something.
Yeah, pretty good
Yeah,
size.
yeah. I mean, we're expanding. I think we got our Toledo division. We got a division in Detroit, sorta, and then we have a division down by more like Columbus, Dayton area, somewhere in there.
Nice.
So we're busy, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, tell me a little more about the road life. How often are you home?
I can be home just about every weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can kind of dictate my schedule as long as we're ahead. I can kind of dictate my schedule. If we're behind, then we're just gonna have to work and do what we got to do.
that's cool.
And depending on how far away I am, if I'm all the way, like say south of where I'm at now, I'll just stay there for the weekend because I don't want to
Mm.
drive all the way there and then all the way back
Yeah,
because it's just wasting a day. And by the time I get home to hang out, it's already gone.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I know that lifestyle can be hard, especially whenever you have like 7 kids. Have you been doing that travel stuff for a while?
I've been doing it a while, but I've been home for a while too. Like this part of our company kind of opened up last year, and they asked me, and I was like, well, I got to be, you don't travel for free, so it's got to be, everybody's got to be compensated the way they feels adequate. So I talked to them, and they met what I wanted, and here I am.
Awesome.
So
Well, that's great that you're with people that are willing to, work with you on that and take care of you like that. I mean, that tells you, I mean, just what you're saying about your management and leadership, that's why you have such awesome guys that are out there able to do things even like at a young age, like your sons are.
yeah, I mean, and they'll get you damn near anything you need. If I mean, safety is always priority. I know I make a lot of fun about it, but anything I need, they're instantly like, "What do you go get it?" They don't really raise too many questions if you're trying to be safe. So,
Yeah. So how often are you dangling off of shit and on top of tall things and all that crazy stuff?
this summer, not, I mean, maybe was it early spring? We did a change out inside of a foundry, and we're changing out the crane beams and stuff like that. But other than that, uh, this year I've been on the ground pretty much all year, just tying rebar.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't been up in the air in a while.
What about in the past?
So like all the bridges down in Louisville, the East End Crossing, the downtown bridge, I built those with a bunch of great guys. Bunch of plants out in Iowa. We did a bunch of fertilizer plants out in Iowa, hang iron out there. Um, right now they're building a bridge from Detroit to Canada. That's a big ass bridge. I haven't done anything on it, but I could if I really wanted to go to it. But I can't remember who the company is. There's a different company up there on that bridge.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, I mean, there's opportunity. If I want to go hang iron, I could make a phone call right now and go hang iron. But
Yeah.
nope, I
Do you
got
have
it
to
pretty
be
good.
do you have to be a little fearless to be an iron worker?
I don't think you have to be as much anymore. I mean, they got baskets for everything now.
Yeah.
We got a lot of guys who call them basket connectors because they don't ever get out of the basket. I can do that. Well, okay, get out of there and go do it. And they're like, and you get the kids that come out and they've done roofing or something, and they're like, oh yeah, I've done roofing. I'm like, a roof has got nothing to do with what we're about to do.
Mm.
A roof is nice, flat, it's big. Yeah, it's got a slope to it, but it ain't that big, and you got to walk on it.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of kids that fizzle out when they go through the apprenticeship or stuff like that. So it's rough. Sometimes it's not easy. It's gotten
Yeah.
easier though with the safety and the lifts, and you don't have all the old guys cussing you out as soon as you walk on the site.
Yeah.
Which I mean, sometimes I wish some of these kids they would cuss them out, but I
Some
mean,
people need that every now and then.
sometimes I mean I know everybody's like the times have changed. Well, I don't think anybody's changed. I just think sensitivity's taken over. But at the same time, what do you do? I mean, They tried to cancel me last week for body shaming somebody, and I was like, what the fuck ever.
Oh, dude, you tell him to fuck off. I mean,
I made a fucking joke. I mean, she put the video out there. The one where I said my day's as long as her tit, and they
oh,
lost.
yeah, the
Dude,
TGIF.
they lost their fucking mind. But you know what? Whatever.
I bet that you had a lot of traction on that video, though.
Oh yeah, it's still. I mean, TikTok took it down, but whatever.
Oh, what? Damn.
Yeah, they're soft.
That's a funny video.
But I mean, they were coming at me like, I had a bunch of other people coming at me like, "Are you the one who was making fun of her body?" And I'm like, "Probably, man, probably." But you know, the big thing is like they try to call me fat all the time. I probably get called fat like 300 times a day, which is fucking cute. And I usually tell them, you know, especially if it's a guy, I'm like, I wouldn't be fat if your mom didn't cook so good. And they get all like, "Oh, fuck you, my mom's dead." Well, because she gave me high cholesterol and I smushed her. I mean, like, you know, you brought the shit. Don't bring it. I mean, you want it, I got it.
Dude, I love that. Just dump trucking people in the comments.
You'll absolutely get your fucking feelings hurt if you like. I'm making jokes, and I always tell everybody it's a fucking joke, not a dick. Don't take it so hard.
Yeah.
And I mean, I really mean that. I say that I get it banned a lot, and that's cool. But I'm not going to change who I am because people are butthurt over something.
Dude, and that's what we need is that kind of content right there, because it shows that like in the construction industry, we ream each other all day, every day.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know that woman. I hope she's doing great for herself. I have no this or that about it, but and everybody's like, "Oh, you couldn't even tag her in a video." Well, I couldn't tag her because her account got taken down. Her account got taken down because she used to do that with lingerie on. That's why her account got taken down. So don't tell me I'm body shaming anybody. Don't tell me like I've had that draft for like 3 years in my drafts. So I got like 300 or 400 drafts. I just do a video, forget about it, whatever. And everybody's like, "I can't believe you saved that video for 3 years." First of all, don't flatter yourself. I didn't. I made a video probably one night after work, forgot about it because I make 4 or 5 on the weekend. It got buried in the shuffle, and I just found it, and it just happened to be funny. So, whatever.
I love it, dude. I love it. Like, but I mean, you know, my point is, I mean, we have fun and we make fun of each other. Like, you know, you're sitting here. I can't tell you how many times whenever I've heard from coworkers, "Oh, if you can take a dick, you can take a joke," and then you know you go, "Well, you know," and then you start like, you're like, "Well, shit, man," you know.
Oh yeah, people
Well,
backpedal, and I mean,
I can't take a dick, and then it's, "Well, have you tried?" And you're like, "Oh
yeah,
shit," you know. Here's
right,
the whole Doug.
right. The joke's being set up as you talk to them, and you know, like right now on TikTok, I got a whole somebody's got a spam account. They took my picture. They took 141 of my videos and posted them. I mean, they're doing pretty good. They got like 200 followers, so I mean, they're doing good off pretending to be me. Reaching out to girls like, "Hey, you know, what's up, girl?" Like, or "Hey, can you give me money?" Like, first of all, I don't need no money from nobody. I ain't DMing chicks, so you know, it's fucking crazy.
Sitting here like trying to sell Bitcoin to miners or something like that.
Or like, yeah, join this app and it'll do that. And I was like, I've gotten so many messages, and it's all been from ladies on Instagram, like, "Hey, you got a fake account out there on TikTok," and I'm like, "Fuck, all right, let me go look." So I went and reported it and did all the shit. Nothing will probably happen to it because I mean, it takes forever to do anything.
You should just send them that video that got banned and say, "Hey, you should post this video. It was my best number."
Oh, I got way worse videos than that's got me banned. I mean, hell, my 9/11 video got banned the other day.
What was
And I
your
was like,
9/11 video?
it was just a tribute to the people that died 9/11.
Oh, so it
And
wasn't like an iron worker joke of like,
nope,
you
nope.
know,
It was actually just praising all the people that went to help and all that, and they banned it. TikTok did,
what the hell?
and I'm like, oh, okay, I see. We're not allowed to talk about that now.
Oh,
Cool.
so it wasn't. I mean, because as an iron worker, you can make a lot of 9/11 jokes.
Right. Well, it was straight. It was straight a news broadcast. I just clipped pieces out of from when the ironworkers went down there to clean it up because the ironworkers are the ones who cleaned up 9/11.
Hmm.
They went. They were the first ones on scene, other than the firefighters and everybody else, because who else is going to cut the steel out of there? Who else is going to rig that iron and pull it out of there? So same thing with Oklahoma City bombing. We're the ones that cleaned that up.
Yeah.
So everybody don't really get that part. We put them up, and sometimes when they come down unexpectedly, we got to clean it up.
Hmm.
Once we get all the iron out, then like the laborers and operators and all the other trades come in and do their thing too. So they all get, their kudos too.
Yeah.
So people don't realize that stuff.
That video got banned. That's wild.
Yeah, I get such weird videos that get banned. I don't know what it is. So
That's wild, dude. I don't know, man. You never know in today's age.
Instagram's pretty cool. Facebook, the only thing Facebook cares about is if it's copyrighted music. If it's copyrighted music, they or fucking Disney. Disney's a pain in the ass.
Hmm.
You wanna see how fast you get a video like quieted? Go just try it once. Go make a video with the Disney sound. It'll get quieted quick.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I like doing shit like that to see how fast that happens.
Just see how fast you should just get doing just straight making fun of Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, well, so my son, when he first started making videos with me, he can do a Mickey Mouse voice super on point. So I named him Safety Mouse, and he always wore a mask up to here, and you could never see his face. And he'd come up and yell at me in Mickey Mouse's voice, and we got banned quite a few times for that one.
That's
And
so fun.
I'm like, that's his voice. Like I had to appeal it, and then I'd have him appeal it in his voice just to fuck with him. So
Send him a video of him talking to him about how it needs.
and that's what I did. I sent him an email with him talking, and he was after we got done. Of course, we laughed about it, but it's stupid.
How'd you get started on the whole social media thing?
So I was playing hockey one time. So I play hockey a lot still, and actually I was down at a tournament in Dallas with my kids, and I'm sitting there, and they were playing on their phones, and I asked them what the hell they were doing. They're like, "Oh, we're on TikTok." I'm like, what the fuck is TikTok? And they're like, "Oh, it's for kids, dude. Check it out." So I started looking at their stuff. I downloaded it, and I was just scrolling through it. And I said, "Shit, I can do that." They're like, "Whatever, bullshit." And I'm like, "No, I mean for real, I can do that. You don't even know the stupid shit we're doing at work." So I made I think my sixth video went viral after I started doing it.
No kidding.
Yep.
You
So
just go back to your kids and you're like, "Told you, fuckers."
yeah, when it started, it was one of the nights too where I worked really late, and I just kind of made a video of me and all my Mexican amigos walking out of the gate, and it was back in the Trump days, and it was the country road song, but it was in Spanish talking about "send me home back to my papa," and we were going through the turnstiles at a Chrysler engine plant, and one of the Mexican guys, my buddy Leo, turned around and he's like, and it went fucking crazy. It went fucking crazy. I went to bed and woke up with like 1 million views and just all kinds of shit. Or I work with a lot of Mexican guys. I've known these guys my whole life, and they're great dudes. Or I do like the South Park one, like scanning for Mexicans, and I'll find them like, "Oh, we got a Mexican." Just like we have a lot of fun. My guys are good dudes, and I always usually ask them, "Hey, are you cool if I make a video?" "Well, for what?" I was like, "Well, you ain't in trouble by La Migra, right?" No, it's okay. All right, let's make a video. So, and we'll do, and everybody, I get all the shit. "Oh my God, you ever get any work done?" I make all my videos 100% off the clock or
Really?
outside of work. Unless something crazy happens. Like I did make one today. I wasn't on a clock, but it was at my job site. They were setting some precast panels off on the other job across the way. And I just put my phone up and time lapsed it and let it just record while I was doing my stuff. But 99% of the videos I do are at a spot over by my house. One of my buddies owns a crane yard. I make all my videos in his crane yard.
Huh.
Or I just pull up on somebody else's job site that I don't work for and just make the motherfucker. What are they gonna do? Fire me?
Yeah, I've done that.
So I've done that. I mean, like the one that I got on Facebook that's got like 4 or 5 million views on it. I was on the side of the road in Florida on vacation. I just put my hard hat on and a high vis shirt and was making a video. And a cop pulls up and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Just shooting a video." He's like, "Yeah, whatever." And I was like, hold on. I said, "Cuff me up." He's like, "What?" So I had him handcuff me and set me on the fucking ground. And people were like, "Oh, that cop was sitting there. He was doing road traffic." I'm like, "Since when do cops do traffic control in broad daylight?" They don't. And I was like, "No," I said, "The cop was just really super cool." You know what I mean? And he just was like, "I can't be in the video, but I can." Like he had his cruiser in the background, all the lights on, and had me sitting on a fucking a man cover. It was pretty funny.
Hmm.
And I can't remember. Oh, maybe it was the "You Got a Felony." That's what it was. Like the Toy Story one. Like, "You got a felony," and then had me cuffed up sitting on the ground. It was fucking funny.
That's so awesome.
But yeah, I mean, just stuff like that, like opportunity sometimes. Just opportunity shows itself.
Yeah. I mean, that's social media, right? I mean, it's just a way to kind of creatively express yourself. That's so you just started it because you saw your kids screwing around on TikTok one day and you were like, huh,
Yeah, basically they told me I was just too old to do it, and I was like, all right. And then I
give
started
it
on TikTok, and I started doing decent on TikTok, and I never had Instagram before. And one of my buddies that's got like 7 or 8 million followers was like, "Bro, you need an Instagram." And I'm like, "I don't even know how to fucking do Instagram." So I did Instagram, and then after I had gotten Instagram, they rolled out their Reels program. As soon as they rolled out Reels, they just started going crazy, and because I've been on there for about 2 years, maybe on Instagram, and I don't
so you
know,
got
I got
right at the right time.
yeah, I got, but I put out one video a day. That's it. I don't spam post. I don't put out 5 videos a day. I put one video out a day. That's all I'm putting out. I'm not putting out more than that unless it's something that just pops into my head and I just like a short one. I'm like, okay, boom.
Dude,
But
it's hard getting out 2 to 3 a week, much less one a day.
that's why I have 300 drafts.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
the
now,
pain.
working with all these companies now, I got obligations to put videos out. So, which I don't work with a lot of companies. I work with Troco, um, Lunchies, which is a heated lunchbox. It's portable, and you can just program it with your Bluetooth, and it cooks your food in your truck while you're waiting, go while you're working.
Oh, that's wild.
I've had it for a couple of years, and they just hit me up finally with the. I actually hit them up when they first had like their pilot program. They sent me one, and I made a few videos, and just kind of let it. I mean, I still use the box, but they finally hit me up like, "Yo, you want to be monetized?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, who doesn't?" Brunt Workwear. I fuck with Brunt. I make, and I tell everybody this: I make zero money from Brunt. They've just been really good dudes to me,
Hmm.
and they were there like when I first started. They always send me shit. I was in Vegas and went out with them. Uh, they took me to a couple snow cross races, like a lot of cool stuff. So they're just good people.
That's cool.
And then Ergodyne Safety. I just signed a thing with Ergodyne Safety to be their like ambassador. So that'll be, which is funny because I make fun of safety so much.
Hmm.
So they were like, "No, we know you make fun of us. It's totally cool." So I was like, "All right."
Dude, there's no good way to advertise safety without making fun of them.
Well, and that's I'm going to come up with something because now with OSHA having to where they have to have female equipment because let's face it, some females aren't built like us.
Yeah.
They need to have fitting equipment, whether it's gloves or vests. I told them to get me one of them vests that got kind of like the corset look in it. So I put that motherfucker on my fat ass and be like, "What? And what?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, they sent me an electrician's vest. What the hell's this?" Like, so just jokes like that. I mean, always something.
That's awesome, dude. But I mean, what a way, because I mean, a lot of females see that and be like, oh shit. If you're just like rolling out our new female work vest, it's like, yeah. But if you're
Well,
like, and it goes viral, then people go, oh shit, yeah, I actually would like a female fit vest.
right, yeah. I mean, all these girls definitely want one. I mean, they made enough commotion about it to get OSHA to look into it.
Yeah.
Which I mean, rightfully so, because not all of them are built like linebackers like we are. Some of them are. Some actually got decent looking portrait and probably need form fitting clothing instead of big baggy ass vests that just hang off of them.
The other day, my wife was in she works at a refinery, and she had to go inside one of the units, and I don't remember it. It wasn't a hazmat suit, but it's like the paper version of a hazmat suit, like a disposable one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh, Type C PP or something. I don't know. I don't know the lingo, dude. I'm not. I've
Right.
never had to wear that type of stuff, but whatever it is. And it was just like they don't have like women's fit. It's just like basic sizes, and it was just everything was so baggy except like in the ass region. She's got a nice body. I'll put it that way. And
Right.
her and her coworkers, both of them, just like ripped the ass portion of those out. It just wasn't. It's just not made for women at all. So
Yeah,
that's
no,
pretty.
I get it. I get it. I mean, so
So through social media, you've gotten like people just having you sign and they sponsor you, and then
yeah, I mean, I get so many a day. And I'm not even as big as some of these other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I only want to work with the companies that I like feel are not going to try to have me change my content. I want to do my content the way I want to do it. I
Yeah.
don't want somebody to be like, well, we want you to record it and send it to us, then we'll give you an approval.
Yep.
No, you've seen my videos. I'm going to record the shit the way I want to record it. I'm going to put it out there. If you don't like it, then then leave me alone.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's why we don't run ads on the podcast because, I mean, I've had companies hit us up and say, oh, we want to advertise, but it's just you get talking to them. And it's either products I'm not going to use, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, buy this company's products if I'm not even willing to use them. And I'm also not going to sit here and have somebody say, well, we don't like this or we don't like that. If you don't like it, fuck you. You
right,
know?
right. Yeah, like so I've had so many shoe companies and boot companies hit me up, and even though um like I said, I don't make any money from Brunt at all. Them guys hook me up. If I called Jeremy up right now or Eric or any of them, I was like, hey, I need a pair of boots. They'd be there in a week.
Nice.
So I don't, they send me all their. I mean, hell, I don't know if this is a shirt right here or not, but they send me all this stuff, to test out. No, that's not it. But they send me all this stuff to test out and see if I like it. Same thing with Troll Co. Like this is a Troll Co. shirt, hat. Um, they uh they just came out with their plus line, if you will. So finally, now big boys like me can wear some Troll gear. So I'm gonna do a video on that. I might do one with like some hoochie daddy ass shorts on or something, and just a shirt, and use that audio like my what's that PP do? I don't know, peas like that one. So just stupid shit, but I mean, I
The
made that
big,
video today, just tying bar. So, but I thought about doing the like real short shorts just because they said I was body shaming. That way, everybody can just like when they start shit, just start shit back with them.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
It's gonna be like, well, now you're body shaming me, fucker.
oh, I eat it up though because all you gotta do is argue back and forth with them. That's a big one. Like everybody, like today, I posted that video today of me tying with the cap cut effect or whatever, and everybody's like, too slow. You have to go slow. If you go too fast, the video's gonna be 3 seconds long. You deliberately have to go slow enough for the camera to pick up all the shit you're tying. And they're like, oh, it's too slow. I know, it's ridiculous, ain't it? I mean, I'm the 8-time world champion tying. I'm pretty sure I can beat you. So, I mean, I only missed out on first place this year by like 400ths of a second. So,
Wait, that's actually a competition?
oh yeah, yeah.
Damn,
There's a whole ironworker competition.
all
Fastest
right.
column
Well,
climb, fastest rod tie, rivet toss, spud throw, tying ropes, all the shit.
so what do you compete in? Because I mean, all right.
I compete in everything.
This conversation's like an onion, man. It's just like you just keep
There's a
telling me. I'm like, wait, what? That exists?
next year is our 40th year anniversary of the Ironworker Festival
How many? Okay, so where's the Ironworker Festival at?
in Mackinac, Michigan.
All right.
So
I
in
feel like
Mackinac,
it is all great, like cool competitions. Like somebody else was telling me, I feel like they're all like in the upper Midwest. Like somebody told me they were going to Ohio for like a Paul Bunyan, like basically a lumberjack fest. And I know that there is the lumberjack games every year. And
oh yeah,
they
there's
tell me
all kinds of craziness.
all in that area.
I
Bring
think
some of
because
that
the I
to
think
south.
because the unions are stronger up north and not down south.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? That's probably why, honestly. So the Mackinac Bridge at the time obviously was like a feat that nobody thought was going to be done because of the all the cold nights up there, all that. So there's actually an ironworking museum in Mackinac, Michigan, above a pizza shop. Believe it or
Hmm.
not. So there's a whole ass ironworking museum, has all kinds of history in it for all kinds of everything on the top side of Mamma Mia's Pizza. If you go back and look through my Instagram or TikTok, I should do it on TikTok and make a Ironworker Festival like just a page so people can go see it. But every year we have the world's fastest column climb, fastest rebar, fastest. So we do an old school event where they grab rivets, like old school hot rivets, and throw them to the guy on the scaffold to catch and put in a bucket, like they used to do back in the day. Um, we have one fun one. It's kind of like an axe throw, but you take our spud wrenches, we throw them at a target, and then you got to tie your knots, which is a little bit more old school too.
Wow, dude, that's so badass.
And I've been in the top three of tying rebar for the last 20 years.
Damn, dude. So you've
So
been
like,
competing for a while.
oh yeah, I've never missed ever, except for the one COVID year we had. I've never missed a competition ever.
When is it
So
usually?
it's the second weekend in August every year.
Damn. So just missed it, huh?
Yep. I used to
Dang.
try to start putting out more and more stuff on the internet, like trying to bring more awareness to it and trying to get it rolling. And it was a pretty good turnout. Philadelphia won the overall championship this year, so somebody's got to kick them boys off the pedestal, which they're all my damn friends, which is kind of funny. And then I think I gotta actually hit them up because they're doing their competition at their hall this week in October. So I'm gonna try to get up there and do a bunch of videos of them climbing the column and stuff and doing their thing.
That's pretty cool, dude. Yeah, climbing columns and stuff. That's one thing that like I saw a video a couple weeks ago, and it was like an iron worker climbing up a whole, like an old video, probably from like the 30s or 40s or some shit like
Yeah.
that. Dude was just like, I mean, the athleticism required to be an old school iron worker like that, kind of like what you're talking about in this competition, is just
Oh,
insane.
you had to be a boss. Like even I climb, and I'm a big ass dude. Like I'm not gonna beat those guys that could climb like in speed, but they're not gonna beat me tying rebar. So we kind of X each other out, and I just gotta do good in the rest of the stuff.
Yeah. So how long of an event is it? Like a week long or a couple days or
One day.
one day?
So it starts on a Friday. Like everybody starts showing up and practicing. Saturday is the main competition day, and then Sunday they have the world championship column climb, and
Mm-hmm.
then they have their awards, and then everybody goes back to where they came from.
Wow. Just
So,
over a weekend, huh? Dang,
yep.
dude. All right.
Hmm.
I'm gonna add that to my list of things that I want to do next year because that sounds so freaking cool.
And next year is the 40th anniversary, so it's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, dude. That sounds so cool. How many people compete?
What was there this year? Like 200.
It's a pretty good turnout.
Yeah, I mean, and they're from everywhere because Canada has union iron workers too. So we had Canadian guys there. Everybody from all over the country. It
Pretty big
gets it
event.
gets it gets pretty intense. And then there's guys there that think they're the shit, and then when they start going against these guys that practice this all the time,
Mm-hmm.
realize how much they aren't, and they're like, "Holy hell!" Because I remember my first year, I got my ass absolutely handed to me. My first year, I went up there, I didn't know nothing about what was going on, and I was like, "Holy shit, these dudes are for real! Like they're for real, for real." So I mean, it went to the point where I have a rebar wall in my backyard so I can practice.
He'd go tie rebar all day long and just come home and be like, all right, this one's
Well,
for
when
real.
it about like since it's in August, about July, I start really practicing the speed part of it, and which is funny because I get so much hate, which is hilarious because what the best trade is, or the best person in the trades is the guy in the comment section.
Oh,
Period.
yeah. Oh, always.
So for everybody that's I'm a rod buster. I've been doing it. Oh, I mean, cool for you. Good. Keep the trade going. Keep it going. But why you guys always got to tear each other down? Why can't you guys just pump them up? Put up or shut the fuck up. I mean, that's what I tell everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know. Was it 2 years ago? 2 years ago, I got inducted in the International Ironworkers Hall of Fame. So now the International already put me in the Hall of Fame. I got so up in Mackinac they actually have a Walk of Fame, and they put a brick in the ground with your name on it and your book number and all that shit.
Hmm.
And so I get guys that are like, "Oh, you ain't shit," da, 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 and on Facebook or somewhere I'll post that picture. I'm like, "You guys got one of these? No? All right." I was just wondering. I didn't know if you guys.
Lord.
Yeah, I didn't know if you guys haven't been inducted to the Hall of Fame. That's fucking nuts. That's crazy.
They
Surely
probably
they
didn't
know who.
want one.
Yeah, surely they know who you are, right? No, no. Oh, I mean, my bad.
How does one train for these games? Like, is it just you?
I think once you learn the
Is it
rules,
is it
and
similar to like what you actually do in your day to day job, or is it different?
yeah, no, I mean, the old school. I mean, even in people don't realize like if you get to like New York, Chicago, anywhere like California, the guys still climb the columns. They still work like that. You can only get so high with a basket. So you have to now they don't wear their tools at the competition. It's just a free climb with no tools on. Most guys wear shorts and whatever, and people are like, "Oh, they're not in their tools." It's a speed climb. You don't see lumberjacks wearing all their tools. You see them wearing shorts and spikes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it's the fastest to the top. I think Matt this year was what was Matt 4.95 seconds. So something like that. He was damn fast this year.
How tall is the column?
35 feet.
Dang, dude, that's a pretty quick.
Yeah, he's fast. He's
Pretty
super
four,
fast.
some seconds, dude.
Yep.
I don't even think I could run 35 feet in that many seconds.
I always joke with him. I said I can't even run that fucking far. But you got that. The knots. You know, we everybody uses knots at work, whether it's the bowline, half hitch. You know, all the stuff that we use at work when you're tying stuff on. So they do those. Obviously
Dang,
rod tying.
you guys actually know your knots for your trade.
Yeah, our rigging classes are crazy. Our rigging classes are 2 years long.
Wow.
So you got to know all your shit. You know how to. There's so many knots you got to know.
You know your knots better than an Eagle Scout.
They do a lot of different ones though than we do. We use stuff that we're actually going to use.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them though, and I think, I can't remember how many they got to know. Like they have to know when they test out, but they got to know like 20 of them or something.
Wow. But you actually use them for different
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, we use them all the time. Tie shit down, tie shit up, pull shit up. Like if you can't get a crane, how else you gonna get it up there? So
Hmm.
sometimes you just lower rope. If you need a bucket of bolts, just all kinds of shit.
Yeah. So you guys don't operate on the principle of if you can't tie knots, tie lots.
Yeah, if you can't tie a knot, tie a lot. Yeah, we say that to a lot of the young guys that like just are over there fucking around trying to get through it, and you're like, tie it up, just fucking do it, and they're having a meltdown. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's a principle I've always ran under. If you can't tie knots, tie lots, because I've always sucked at knots.
yeah, I mean it's fun. You guys will have to hit me up, and I'll try to get you guys because it's open to the public. You definitely want to book your time soon. Like, don't wait till the last minute because the hotel prices go through the roof.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but like a lot of people, they camp. You can camp right on site for free. So if you want to camp, you can camp right at the festival for free.
Oh, that's badass.
So yeah, so a lot of guys pull their campers up and stuff like that.
Yeah, dude. I'll definitely look at that. That sounds pretty fun. I just like that
So
kind of stuff because it's so many people that are so passionate about their trade that they're willing to
I'm
practice, compete on the
yeah,
weekends.
yeah, and I'm gonna try to get a bunch of sponsors and shit to go up there this year. Like we have sponsors already, but I want to get it more like mainstream a little bit. And the bastards that run the festival, they're freaking. I love them guys, but they're damn old as shit and they don't want to listen. I'm like, you guys know we can grow this thing like big time. So we'll see.
Take matters into your own hands, huh?
Yeah, let social media do the walking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool. That is cool. I was about to ask you another question, and we went on to that. But yeah, dude. I mean, I just think that's so cool that literally, like I said, you got a group of guys that's so passionate and so good at what they do. Like that just shows that it's a skilled trade to be an iron worker. If there's competitions at how good of an iron worker you are.
Yeah, and I mean, there's actually halls that have them. Like I know in California they have their own like they have their company or not company, but like their picnics and they have competitions at their picnics. I know St. Louis does. St. Louis has a competition, and whoever wins them, that's who they send to Mackinac to represent their local. So
Hmm.
same thing with Philly. Philly has been like kicking ass over the last I don't know 10 years. They've been fucking beating everybody up at that tournament, but they train for it. They work out, they train. These guys look like fucking athletes when they show up.
Hmm.
So they're no joke, and they're all a bunch of good ass dudes. But they beat the shit out of everybody.
That's cool. So
So
what? How come iron workers have such a strong union presence as opposed to other trades?
I don't know. I don't know. I think we hold like in my local anyway. We hold our business agents and all of our money accountable every single month. I think a lot of stuff gets to the point where the business agent thinks that you work for them when they work for you. And we're a little bit more old school. So, I mean, we fired the body membership has fired business agents in my local before.
Wow.
So I mean, and don't get me wrong, there's some locals where like the business agents like fuck you, shut up, and they do, and we're like fuck you. You want us to drag you outside because we will. But we stand together as a collective, not as And I think a lot of the other unions, like the carpenters unions, had a lot of trouble where they got kicked out of the AFL-CIO, and they were not so much struggling, but they were just I don't they were having troubles internally, I think. Some of these other there's other locals around me that are ironworker locals that have just fucked around and squandered their monies and their pensions and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
had to get a bailout from the government. We've never had to have a bailout. Um, my union, my local, we actually still have 30 now to any age. So I only got like 6 years and I can retire and I'm done
Hmm.
if I want to. But now I've done gotten myself to where I got elected into the apprenticeship. So now I'm uh, I don't even know what my official title is. I can't think of it right now. But I do all the evaluations for our apprenticeship. Like these guys come in, they're like, this is a new candidate. I have them do this physical part of the test. I grade them on it, and then whatever that is plus their written test is what they get. They get ranked, and then we pull them off the board as they were ranked.
Hmm.
So, but my what I would like to do is get from where I'm at now and get into the actual apprenticeship. I want to start teaching in the apprenticeship, so I teach the trade to these guys.
Oh yeah,
That's where I want to be in the next 2 or 3 years.
that'd be awesome.
So if I can get to there, I would. That's my ultimate thing. I don't want to be the business agent. I don't want to be the president of the union. I don't want to do none of that shit. I want to teach, and just that's what I like to do.
Yeah. Well, and that's what you need teaching too, is guys that have been out there doing it, worked on the road, traveled, know the ins and outs, and that's
Well,
what
and
needs
not
to.
just. I tell everybody, it's ironwork is so different all across the country. You can take one piece of rebar and hold it up, and I'll call it one thing, and I'll have 35 other names for it.
Hmm.
I mean, it's crazy the amount of shit that goes down with that. So it's nuts for sure.
Yeah. So what else are you doing? Because I know that earlier you mentioned that like you're a big proponent of promoting the trades, not only ironworking, but the trades as a whole. Like, what else are you doing to get involved and spread the word and get people active in it?
I get asked a lot, like, hey man, how do I join the union? How do I join the union? There's so many people that don't know how to join the union. And I'm like, so what do you want to do? Well, I'm a welder. I like to weld. I'm like, all right, so here's the deal. Ironworkers weld, but pipe fitters probably weld the most. So you might not want to be an ironworker, maybe you want to be a pipe fitter. Or some guys hit me up, they're like, I've been framing houses my whole life. You probably don't want to do ironwork. You probably would like to maybe talk to the carpenters union and get in there. And if not, I mean, I'm not discouraging you because we would like to have people that want to work come work within the union for ourselves. But some people, I don't think it's worth wasting the training or their time or our time for somebody to come in that has more of a passion for, say, doing like wood stuff or finishing concrete or welding or something like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
because at least in my local, we don't have a lot of full time welders. Now, if you're out west or Chicago or one of the big cities, you can be a full time welder and weld all day, every day.
Hmm.
But in my local, and I mean, I literally get people's resumes sent to me on Instagram all the time.
Hmm.
And I'm like, dude, you got to be in the union. I can't hire you. Like, I don't hire people like that. So it's crazy the misconception of owning a company, working for a company, and being in the union.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, I thought you owned it. I'm like, I don't own it. I was like, I just have really cool owners. As long as I don't piss off our general contractors, they let me get away with a lot of shit.
Yeah.
So,
They let me talk shit on the internet as long as I'm doing my job.
I mean, but I don't do it on the clock. I never wear any of our stuff that says where I work. Yeah, I mean, people know where I work, but I don't ever come out and wear my stuff or the subcontractor or anything else and wear their stuff. So if I'm wearing something, it's something I've had from years ago that whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with
Hmm.
paying attention to the background. You're making videos, make sure there's no shit back here that says like, I don't know, Larry Corporation back here. You don't want stuff back there that's gonna piss somebody off. They're like, what's that fucking asshole doing on our job site? Who's he work for? And then the company's like calling you like, hey, what the fuck, man? I told you. And I've had that happen. So I know the talk. Because when I was younger and newer at this, I didn't give a shit. And I was like, I'm just gonna post a video. Fuck them. What are they gonna do? Well, get a bad reputation. You won't be allowed on no job sites.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
You don't want the receptionist getting a bunch of calls from a bunch of Karens. Just, I can't believe this man from your company was on here body shaming this woman.
well, we've had, yeah, I doubt that'll happen.
And it's a company that you just have their shirt
Oh
and
no, they actually,
or
that's funny
anything.
you say that because I've had somebody, so I had one. So we were in California last year, and there was a guy, he was strung out on something, laying on the ground, passed out. So one of my apprentices, he took a video of the dude, and he's like, "Damn, dude, he's dead." I'm like, "He ain't dead. He's on vacation for a couple hours. He'll be back." And well, later on, we were in a spot in Ohio, and it said the highest place in Ohio, and I was like, "Fuck!" I was like, "Hey, you still got that video?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Send me that video." So I said, "I don't think you guys are the highest place in Ohio." I said, and I put a picture of this guy up. I said, "Here we go, Exhibit A. I think Toledo's higher than you." Now that guy didn't even live in Toledo, wasn't even from this side of the country. And this one guy from a podcast I did hit me up, and he's like, "I can't believe I wasted my time on you. I can't believe you're like that. I thought you were better than this." I was like, "Well, you thought wrong." I was like, "He's the one that decided to use dope and pass out there in the street, not me." And he's like, "It's a sickness." I'm like, "Look, I'm not getting into this with you. Whatever." He went on this big long ass fucking rant, and then he started deleting his messages as he was going. So I screenshotted all of them, kept in case he tried to start his bullshit. He never did, but I did that week. My company got an anonymous phone call from, I don't know, I can't remember what the name was of the guy, and they left my president of my company a voicemail like, "You got your foreman out here making videos, doing this, 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 and this, and this," and basically trying to fish for something. And my president called me. He's like, "Do you know the name of this company?" I'm like, "Shouldn't you know the name of all the companies we work for?" He's like, "I was just fucking with you." He goes, "This guy left me a voicemail. You want to hear it?" I was like, "Dude, you should send me the voicemail so I can post it up on the fucking internet."
Did you?
He didn't give it to me. He's like, "No, I'm not." I'm like, "Oh, come on, dude." But I 100% know it was that squat the piss dude. So fuck him.
I bet he doesn't have a very big podcast.
It was called Delta Sparks was the name of the podcast.
Delta Force?
Delta Sparks. He was a fucking scab. He was a scab electrician.
Huh.
And his co-host, I don't want to drop her name because she's a nice lady and she don't deserve the bullshit. But yeah, he was. I don't know. I can't believe I wasted my time on you. What, the half hour we spent on a podcast? Calm yourself, sir. Like I said, and then I said in one of the things, I was like, "Oh, I don't have the same opinion as Evan, so now he's gonna block me and not, we can't have a difference. We should be able to have our differences, and still be friends. I think." But
That's
I don't
so
know.
weird, dude.
He took that shit. He took that shit so to heart. It was unbelievable to me. I was like, "Whatever, bro." Like, don't get me wrong. I've had a lot of friends that have OD'd and died, and literally from just being on the shit. And do I feel sorry for them? Not one bit. Their families, yeah, but not them. And that's just my stance on that. And some people like me, some people hate me over it, and that's fine too.
I just can't imagine getting mad at somebody for something like that. Now, like, if you came out and you were like, "I hate insert something here," just horribly
right.
wrong.
If I was bashing a guy like this guy, I'll use my name, Larry. Look at him; he's all fucked up on the ground. Like, I didn't put the guy's info out there. I didn't. None of that. It was just a slide joke, and the clip of the guy laying there was literally like 1.5 seconds.
Yeah.
And he lost his shit on me, and I was like, "It's cool, bro. Like, look, I hope everybody that has a problem gets help, finds the help they need. But at the same time, I'm not here for the pity show. I'm here to take care of me and my family. I raised my kids and the people around me not to be idiots and get on that shit. I mean, what's the consequences of getting on dope? Death, prison, or addiction? So, I mean, that going in. So, and I'm pretty, like I said, I'm pretty 2 feet down on that shit. So, not everybody has my opinion, and that's fine.
Yeah. Again, I can't imagine just like if we got off this podcast today and then tomorrow you posted just like your body shaming video or whatever. And I just like, if I hit you up and was like, "Damn, dude, I just can't believe I wasted an hour of my Thursday night when I wasn't doing anything else anyways."
Yeah, dude, that's kind of exactly how it went. And I was like, if anything, dude, I took time. You're the one that's trying to promote a podcast, not me. You reached out to me. And
has this guy ever been on a job site?
Well, he was so from what I understand, like from his content, he was a non-union electrician, doing his own thing, doing this that. So he's been around, but I don't know what if he was. I don't know how he, I don't know what set him off, and that's fine. It's water under the
Yeah.
bridge at this point. But yeah, he really like he's like, good luck, you're gonna need it, and I'm like, I'm sure I will. Like holy shit, like okay, I guess.
Just all the backlash coming at you.
Yeah. Oh no.
Huh.
And you know it's funny because I used to make fun of all the trades a lot, and I catch all the heat and all the hate, but nobody ever. I mean, everybody knows how to do this. This is a fucking joke, and we take it back and forth on the internet. But some people get really mad. I mean, some people get really really pissed. I mean,
Yeah.
the one the other day about the long ass day one, right? So this
Hmm.
guy jumps on TikTok and he makes a whole video about, is this you? And he shows a picture. No shit, it's me, stupid. Yeah, why are you asking like rhetorical questions? And then he pulls up my personal Facebook and puts it up there. He's like, is this you? Again, looks just like the other guy in the other video, probably, bud. So, and he's like, well, I don't know if you know how, this is how you tag people in these videos, like talking about the young lady. And I'm like, well, I can't tag her because her fucking account is blocked, bud. So I see you have 3,000 followers and I have 300K. I know how to work this. And then he was like, well, maybe we ought to just pull up at his house. And I was like, yeah, you probably should. Probably should.
I'll probably be in a hotel somewhere else, but yeah, come on, man.
Well, pulling up in my neighborhood would be a terrible idea. Because I'm telling you right now, they ain't got to worry about me. My neighbors will take care of the whole situation.
That's good, man. It's good to have dogs. But dude, everybody's a keyboard warrior. Everybody's yeah, let's pull up,
Oh,
but pull
but
up.
they don't. So I live in a predominantly all black neighborhood. I'm literally the grain of salt in that motherfucker. And if a bunch of you butthurt motherfuckers pull up in there, holy hell, my neighbors are gonna eat them. Eat them.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna eat them too. And I'm like, go ahead, bud. The address is on the internet. Go ahead and pull on up. So nobody's yet to pull up, but
Maybe one day.
it's crazy. It's crazy to me. I don't understand it sometimes.
I was wondering how many of those are just trolls, though. I mean, there's so many just literal bots and trolls on the internet that
Well, these guys were just trying to take a video that was going viral, and maybe they did feel some type of way, like I was attacking her, and I wasn't. Absolutely had nothing to do with how she looked. I mean, I was just making a joke, and but they want to try to pigtail off of what's going on. That's all it is.
yeah.
They're trying to piggyback a trend. So
Well, that's everyone. Everybody wants followers and to be TikTok famous and so they look at these trends that are going viral and they're jealous because they're like, why is this going viral but my stuff won't? So then they go, oh, well, this is so wrong, trying to make it go
yeah,
viral. It doesn't.
I've never cared about the numbers. I've just been very fortunate to have an awesome amount of following. Like my following, my followers. I know everybody says they're family. They're not. They're just followers. Let's be real. But they're loyal to the point where like they'll be like, hey, somebody's trying to imitate you, or if somebody copies something that I did, and they're like, hey, he's copying you. So what? Let him. What's the biggest form of flattery? Is imitation. Let him imitate you. It's cool. I use everybody else's sound, so who the fuck am I to be like, oh, you can't steal my stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, I literally use voiceovers for almost all my stuff. So people that get mad about that, like you didn't tag me in that, and I made it first. Okay, you didn't use that sound first, though, did you? Like who, say a Morgan Freeman sound. I know that's Morgan Freeman. It ain't me. Like, holy shit, man. It's so funny to me though. I mean, it really is.
Yeah. Well, that's what's crazy about content now is it's literally made to steal and remake other people's stuff now.
Yeah, and if somebody's taking your content and redoing it or reusing it or whatever, take that as a form of flattery. Fuck it. Like, what are you going to gain out of it? Bitching on the internet? So what?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I've had people take our stuff and use it in like not in an insulting way or making fun of us, but they just post it on their own page and it's like, cool.
Yeah. Well, it's like the I got one where I said oh God, what was it? It was just a voiceover with the words, and it was like today I got new shoes and nobody even asked me about my new shoes, being adult stupid or whatever. and it got used millions of times, like millions. And everybody's like, "Oh my God, that's his audio." It's not my audio. I just put some words in, and the automatic fucking voice took over. And like, so what? It's gonna bring it back to my original. People are gonna see it, so it's cool. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Where'd the lightning
So
sunglasses come from?
so I got those from a company that no longer sells them, and I was like, I really liked them. I was like, man, these glasses are fucking comfy. They're legit. Like they're cool. Yeah, they're kind of whatever. Like everybody's like, they fucking look stupid. Well, maybe they look stupid, but they work. But I was in California and I found the people that sell them like in California,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, yo, I need these glasses. I want to know, like, I want to sell them like for me. I want them just for me and me only. So I worked out a deal with them to where I'm pretty much the only one that has them. I mean, you can find them on Amazon still because people still get them, but like in my website, I have my own website for them. I'm trying to get it to where I can get my name put on the like on the down here like companies do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to figure that all out right now. But
Oh, so you actually sell them?
oh yeah, I got all kinds of different crazy stuff on my in my link tree.
I'll have to check that out, dude. I love those glasses. I mean, I wear my big pit vipers, which are just obnoxious in and of themselves, but one of the most comfortable pair of sunglasses I've ever worn in my life. But I'll have to check those out.
Yeah, but what do pits go for?
Like $100.
Yeah, mine are about 21 to 25, give or take.
Oh, there you go.
And they're not pit vipers, like I mean, they're just safety glasses. But
Yeah.
so they're fun,
Yeah,
and
but
I got all kinds of crazy ass colors. So
nice. Nice. Cool, man. So one other thing that you put on your little deal here about you want to talk about was the difference of generations.
yeah, I mean, I think it's good to keep that talk alive throughout whoever it is, me or whoever else is on your show, going down the road. The
Yeah.
difference in generations is so crazy.
Yeah.
So I started ironwork in 1999 is when I started. So I mean, if people think about that, that's a long fucking time ago at this point. Um, but when I first started, safety wasn't really, you didn't have to tie off. It was kind of, hey, can you find a harness? Put one on. But it wasn't mandatory. And then it started really picking up steam, and now it's just a culture. Like you wouldn't even think about going out on the iron without having your harness on. I mean, nobody thinks about even getting out off of something high or something dangerous without having a harness on. It's to the point now where a lot of carpenters, a lot of rod busters, obviously iron workers, they have their tools mounted right to their harness, so their harness is always on. So all they gotta do is throw the leg straps on and throw some kind of safety tie off on them. So I just and how mean it was back then when I started. Like the dudes were just straight up mean. They were dickheads. They were meaner than shit. And I tell a lot of the young guys now, I was like, you wouldn't have made it, dude. I'm telling you, you wouldn't have made it because these boys would have chewed your ass up. And I really mean that because the guys, and I don't think they were doing it to be mean. That was just the way they were brought up in the trade. So
Yeah.
just generational differences. That's all. And the technologies. I mean, shit. Now we got tie guns. I mean, we didn't have tie guns when I started. That thing was like a mythical creature. So now we got a whole bunch of them. We don't use them as often, but we got them. So
Yeah. Well, I think that it is important, and that's something that I love talking about is just bridging that gap between because those old guys that are still around, they have so much knowledge,
oh my
and
God, it's crazy.
and we got to figure out how to get it out of them because there's a lot of young guys like like you talking about your sons, for example, even myself. Yeah, all right, you're young, you're motivated, you've got the basics down, you've got a good head on your shoulders. That gets you a long ways, but dude, some of these guys have decades of experience and they just know so much, and trying to get it out of them before they retire or
Mm-hmm.
die
Yep.
is it's a trick, and they don't necessarily want to share it with a lot of young. Now some guys do and some guys will, especially to the right younger people, but
Yeah.
figuring out how to make the two work together is a trick.
Yeah.
Nope, you cut out there for a minute. There you are.
Yeah. Somebody's calling me. Fucking
Oh,
crazy. I thought I blocked all that shit.
Yeah, yeah, you're good.
There we go. God damn, I don't know who that even is.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, um, back in the day, them guys didn't have nothing but a hammer and a nail, so to speak. All they had was brute strength and shit to beat stuff around and make it work. I watched a guy one time. So we had some flanges that were like this. And you had to get the beam in there.
Hmm.
Well, they were pinched, and they were like, "What are we gonna get in there to get them up in the air? To spread them out." And I watched him. He brought the piece in, and he came down on it, and he put a bolt in there, and he had the crane pull up, and the crane just pulled that thing out, open just a little bit, unbolted it, put it down, shoved it right in, then just beat the shit out of it and put it back down a little bit. And I was like, "Dude, that was super smart." Like, everybody else had been up to trying to drive wedges in it or put a port of power or something there to spread it apart, and he just used the crane and what he had sitting right there in his pocket. And I was like, that was super slick.
Yeah,
So just yeah, the old guys got knowledge that people don't realize, and then they're pretty smart. But like you said,
yeah. Oh, yeah,
getting it
they
out of them,
are. It's
they don't want to divulge that information to dipshits, and that's I've heard that so many times. Why would I tell him he's not going to remember it in 5 minutes? So
yeah. We
it's
we had
yeah,
Herb Sargent's on last week, and his thing was they don't want to water dead plants.
yeah. No,
But
that's actually an awesome way to say it. Yep.
yeah, and the hard thing is too is you do get a lot of good young guys that are motivated, but they're just ignorant. Like they're not stupid; they're just ignorant to what's actually going on. They've never had to work before, so they don't really get it.
Oh my
And with
God,
time, they could.
I know when I do like our evaluations, I can always tell who's had to do some kind of physical work in their life and who hasn't by the way they
Hmm.
walk up. Because obviously they all walk up, they're all usually pretty young guys. And usually it's the kids that grew up on a farm or grew up with a dad that's already in some sort of trade that do good. And then I get a lot of the more inner city kids, like where I grew up, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. We have one test where we stand a ladder up, and you should see them try to figure this ladder out. And I don't. You can't look down on them because they don't know what they're doing. That's the whole reason for this. And
Yeah.
so you walk up, you're like, okay, I'm going to show you one time. Pay attention. So you show them how to do it because you can't expect everybody to know how to do everything.
Hmm.
And the amount of kids that retain it and don't retain it is so crazy when you physically show them 5 seconds ago how to do it, and they're like, okay, I got it, and they come back and they can't get the ladder to lock in. They can't. They're trying to push it up instead of using the rope to pull it up, to lock the ladder in on the rungs and stuff. It's a lot of it's nuts.
Yeah.
So it's that
Yeah.
common sense that ain't so common,
Yeah. And I mean, it's common sense to guys that have been doing it a while. But again, I mean, and it's a product of guys that have worked really hard in their life saying, I don't want my kids to have to work this hard. And so they don't make them work this hard. And
And
then,
I've seen that so much, and I've heard that so much too, and it's
yeah.
crazy to me. Crazy. You do
Yeah.
your children no favors by babying them.
No, I mean, because then what happens? They enter the workforce, and then it's like you've really just put them behind because they can't suck on your tits forever. And so
Exactly,
once they're
exactly.
21, 25, and you expect them to get a job and be held responsible. Well, now they're like, well, you know, shit, man. I mean, they show up and then they just get made fun of for the fact that they don't know how to do anything.
Yeah, and that's the point too, where I tell all these guys because I'm the old guy now on site. Like I'm the senior most guy. Some of us that are my age, and I'm like, I get these guys that are like, he's a fucking idiot. I said we were all idiots when we were apprentices, weren't we? Did you
Hmm.
come in here and you automatically knew how to tie rebar as soon as you got here? I bet you didn't. I mean, yeah, they some of them have a hard time reading the tape measure, but I don't know if schools even teach that shit no more. To be honest, like how to read a
Yeah.
tape measure. So you know, just take the 5 seconds to show them. You might have to take 10 seconds. You might have to take 10 seconds every day to show them. Whatever. Just show them. It's not that
Yeah.
damn hard.
Yeah. That's true.
So, and it's just terrible. I tell everybody all the time. I said we were all ignorant ass apprentices at one point. I had a little bit of knowledge. My dad was a boilermaker by trade, but I came into ironwork and I knew nothing. Not a damn thing about anything. I knew how to work hard and shut the hell up. And that actually carried, and I paid attention. and it carried me through, and I outworked everybody because that was just the way I was. And we have guys like we got a couple young guys that work for us. Them dudes work so hard, but they could be so much more if they would start paying attention a little bit. But he's so concentrated on like I got to outwork this guy. I'm like, you need to take a step back. You already even half a year step back is outworking these guys, and
Mm-hmm.
start using your brain. I said you're not going to be young for your whole like get smart young because you want to work as hard.
Yeah, and that's something that I've told young guys too, because like I've seen 18, 19, 20, 21 year olds that they come in and they have good work ethic. Like they're out there, they'll do anything you ask them to do, but they just run their mouth. It's like, dude, if you just shut the fuck up, you will go a lot farther. You don't even
That's
have
my
to necessarily step back with your work or anything.
yep
Just shut up and listen sometimes.
yep. My son Christian, the one that don't work for us. That's exactly why he don't work for us.
Hmm.
Because he come out there and he's my son, so I don't know if he was feeling like oh I'm Larry's kid, and he was fucking running that fucking cocksucker of his, and my boss is like nobody wants to work with him. I'm like then get rid of him. I mean fuck him. He'll get another job. And he was like, oh all right. So they laid him off, and now he works for another company. And if he gets laid off, maybe he'll come back to work for us. But he learned his lesson. Just because dad's one of the bosses doesn't mean that dad's going to stick up for him. You're a grown ass man. Shut your fucking mouth and handle your business.
There you go.
So that's why Christian don't work for us.
I've never heard a
So
dad say my kid running his cocksucker too much.
hey, I'm a real ass person, man. I don't give a fuck who you are. You know,
That's hilarious, dude.
shut your fucking mouth and do your fucking job. Don't come out here and think that dad's gonna. I got your back for a lot of shit, but not if the guys that I trust that I've known my whole career. Like, dude, what the fuck is he? Why is he? What the fuck's wrong with him? Like, shut the
Yeah.
fuck up and do the job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, dude, that's awesome, man. And I'm glad that I mean, any positive impact you can make on the industry is great. And I mean, sometimes that's just humbling a dude enough to say, dude, you've just got to shut up. Like, and sometimes they've got to learn that lesson on their own. But I mean, a great piece of advice I heard the other day was from a guy that was probably in his 50s or so. And he goes, you know, he guys got old guys that want to make fun of 20-year-olds and talk about how lazy they are and how they don't know anything and they're so stupid and unskilled. He goes, they are not putting it into perspective and thinking of themselves as 20 years old.
well, yeah, yeah. I mean, and the kids are only as smart as the journeyman they're working with.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a dumbass, and let's face it, the guys that are usually putting them kids down aren't very good hands at 50, even when
Yeah.
they were at you know what I mean. Everybody has guys that they work with, or say, okay, say in my union we have guys that we work with, or companies that they send a guy out, and you're like, oh Jesus fucking Christ, I don't want this guy on my job. Like you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be the guy when they say your name and everybody goes, oh fuck. Like no, you don't want to be that guy. So you want to be the guy like, oh, we're gonna send out Mike, and they're like, fucking right, dude. Mike's a good hand. Like send him out, no problem. You don't want to be like, oh, we're gonna send Larry out, and everybody's like, oh my god, that fucking mother, like, you know what I mean? And they're like, oh, we're firing him as soon as he gets here. So, and I've done that too. I've had guys that I absolutely will not let work for me,
Yeah.
and when they
Yeah. I
send
mean,
out, this is the point where my company will call me first, like, hey, we got so and so. I'm like, I'll just work shorthanded, and they're like, oh, all right. So,
well, it's better to do that. I mean, honestly, is if you have somebody out there who's just a total dick that's bringing everybody down, it's going to, one, make the day way more miserable. And two, you're probably not going to get as much done because now
yeah,
everybody's mentally exhausted from working with an asshole.
there's a guy that works for us. I've known him since we were kids. We lived around the corner from each other growing up. Outside of work, he's my friend. At work, I can't fucking stand him
Hmm.
because he always wants to do things his way, and it's always fucking wrong.
Mm.
We were doing this one job, and he's like, "Let me do it. Let me do it. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing." And then, like, we're getting ready to go to break, and one of the apprentices comes up and goes, "Hey, I think that's all wrong over there. Just want you to know that." And I was like, "Fuck!" So I walk over there and look, and sure as shit, that shit was wrong. And I lost my shit on him, cussed him out, called my boss, like, "Get him the fuck off my job. I don't send him back here ever again. But I'll hang out with him outside of work. I just don't want him at my job." And people are like, "How do you do that?" I'm like, work is work, man. Work is work.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't take that shit home with me.
Yeah. No, dude, I've been like that's been one thing that I've really been learning about, and just learning how important it is making sure you have the right people on your team and getting rid of the wrong people.
Yeah.
It's just become so prevalent. Is even if you're shorthanded, dude, you can work so much better with a good, motivated team that all aligns and works well together. But if you have one wrench in there, dude, people just they almost shut down on you. It's like, damn,
Well,
dude,
yeah,
like
they avoid him. They stay away from him. The crew gets a little more tight-lipped instead of. I'd rather them talk shit to each other all day long and knock it out than for them to be over there quiet and just pissed off all day.
yeah, well, then what happens? Then they start sleeping in later because they don't want to come to work, and they hit snooze because they're unmotivated to be there. And
Mm-hmm.
then it's oh man, I want to leave early today. I want to, I don't feel. It's just it causes a ruffle of problems solely because there's one guy there that nobody wants to work with.
Yep, I've had it happen quite a few times. I tell everybody you could be a great boss, but you're only as good as your guys. And if your guys don't like you, they will fuck your brains out, and you'll who's answering the bell toll, not them.
Yeah, but if your guys hate you, what does that say about you as a boss or a leader?
Oh, no, I know. There's guys that I know, including myself included, that have worked for other people that have just straight up laid down on them.
Hmm.
Like the guy treats them like shit. And this is back when I was younger, and he would just cuss you up and down. And I was like, I'm not going to work that hard for him.
No.
I'm gonna look busy, but I'm not going to work that hard for this dude.
Yeah.
So, and everybody else was kind of under the same, like, yeah, we're going to do the same thing, and kind of how it went. So it was crazy.
Yeah, that brute force doesn't work, at least not long term. Yeah, sometimes you can get something done if you really got to prove a point, but
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
that's a tool in the tool belt. That's not that shouldn't be your strategy.
No, I usually save the whole like if I gotta be a dickhead thing for like, hey, and I usually try to turn it into, hey, look, they said we ain't gonna get it done. Let's show these motherfuckers we can get this done.
There you
And
go.
then when the guys do that for me the next day, whether back in the day before I had a company credit card and stuff, I would just go spend the money and buy the old pizza or wings or whatever, just to show them without even saying anything. Like, yo, hey, I got lunch in the trailer. You guys go eat. Um, for the if they killed it the day before, then I do stuff like that for them.
Yeah,
I know
that's
everybody
great.
jokes about the pizza thing, but it's that little shit, man. It's the little stuff that you don't have to do, but if you do it, at least they see that you recognize what they did. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. The pizza party thing. It's always funny because like honestly, yeah, in an office setting, they say, yeah, we had the most profitable year ever. We did the, we're rewarding you at the pizza party. And yeah, in an office setting, sure. It's like, dude,
Yeah, what the
I know how
fuck?
much money you guys fucking made. I know what I've done. Like, this is stupid. In the field, it's like, shit, man, pizza party, let's go. you know?
Yeah. It's a different beast for sure. And like my company, we rotate guys in and out of job sites so much because we have so much work around like our metro area that sometimes I'll have one guy that's my constant, and I'll have a whole new crew every other day.
Wow.
So, but that's how good of guys we got too, though, to where we can rotate what we need. So it's nice to have that.
That's an interesting leadership dynamic for sure. Whenever you're showing up with different guys every couple days.
It happens a lot. And sometimes it sucks because we were doing a high rise and they kept swapping the guys out on one of my buddies, and he looked at me. He's like, "Why do they keep doing that?" I'm like, "Well, then fucking sit down and tell them that you need this crew. That way you don't have to train them every third day or whatever." So I think he wound up doing that, and it wound up going pretty smooth for him. But a lot of guys are afraid to just say what and be a dick to our boss. And our boss is like I said, he's super cool. So he'll take the little ass chewing. He's used to it. So
Nice. Cool, man. Well, I think I'm gonna start wrapping this thing up here because I'm about ready to get some dinner. Now that we're talking about pizza parties and whatnot.
yeah, no, I'm gonna watch this hockey game here in a minute.
Yeah. What is the dirtiest job you've ever had to do?
Uh, dirtiest job probably working anytime you do any of these steel mills, anytime you do anything in the mills are dirty, they're nasty, they're disgusting. You know,
Really?
on top of the crane rails, they got soot like that far from all the molten lava they're making.
Mm,
The mill is nasty. The mills are really nasty.
really?
Yes,
Like,
they're
are you just getting
terrible.
covered in all that shit?
Yeah, so I got a video I'm gonna post probably next couple of weeks, but usually you gotta wear FRs in there all the time. So most guys will get a jumpsuit from the company, but you're just covered head to toe in just dirt, dust, whatever. If you don't have a dust mask on, you're probably breathing up all that shit. It's terrible in there.
Wow. So did
So
the steel mill guys, are they just getting covered in that shit every day too?
so when the mill's actually running, a lot of them guys are inside control houses or something like that. But when we go to do the rework on stuff, we got to wipe all that soot off to weld or drill
Mm,
holes or swap out bolts or whatever we're doing. So you got to get all that shit out of the way. So when you start doing that, it just turns into a fucking just a cloud. It looks like 9/11 down there, just a cloud of that shit everywhere. Just
whoa.
it's pretty gnarly.
You leave there looking like a coal miner.
Yes, you do. Absolutely, you do. You're black everywhere except where your glasses were, or if you had a mask on.
Post a video of you doing that and see what the internet says.
Yeah, that'd probably be something really stupid.
Do it with
Well,
the
maybe
Disney.
not. Yeah, fuck, who knows?
Cool,
But
man.
it's crazy. So,
Sweet. Well, you got any other final thoughts?
not really, man. I mean, I appreciate you guys reaching out, putting me on the show. Um,
Yeah, man.
I like doing blue collar podcasts, man. They're my favorite. I hate some of the other ones that I've done that have just been kind of like real hoity toity. I don't really like that shit.
Yeah.
So
Well, hopefully one of these days we'll cross paths and we can do one in person.
yeah, I mean, I might go out to the world of concrete out in Vegas. That's in January, February. I think it's February. Um, that's a badass show. I know Legend's going. I'm sure a couple other guys are going.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, man, we'll have to get up or something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. Well, cool, dude. Well, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, man, not a problem.
Sweet. Well, everybody. Tell everyone where they can follow you.
Oh, you can follow me on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube at rough_iron, and on Instagram at rough_iron55.
Cool. Yeah, check them out. Awesome content. And follow us too at Dirty and Driven.
Hell yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.